Good afternoon, parents and guardians. This is Jeff Souls from the West Mifflin Area School District Superintendent, along with Mr. Jeff Solomon, the Assistant Superintendent of the West Mifflin Area School District. Today, we want to talk to the parents and students about our reentry plan for the students. We're hoping to bring all the students back in person on a hybrid model. Our recommendation to our education committee that all the students would re-enter the school environment in a hybrid model. We're looking to anticipated starting this on Monday, October 19th. We've taken our students and we divided them by alphabetically A through L and M through Z. This was due so we could transport students efficiently and social distance. Students in the blue group will meet on Monday and Tuesday, which are the A through L students. And the gold group will meet on Thursday and Fridays, which is the M through Z students. Also, our day is going to look a little different in the hybrid model. We're going to have an early release for those students, roughly 2 hours earlier, so that we're able to provide remote learning for those students who are not attending in-person instruction or on the other side of the hybrid model. Now, parents, we want to remind you that the remote learning is available for all students who do not want to attend the in-person instruction. And again, if I could call your attention to the bottom of the screen, November the 3rd will be a remote learning day for all students. It is the day of the election. What in-person learning is going to look like for the students. Students are going to have to wear their face masks or face shields at all times within the building. We will socially distance to the maximum extent possible. Understand our school buildings and facilities were not designed to do social distancing to the 6 foot. So that is why we're coming back on a hybrid model instead of everyone at one time. Students will have access to hand sanitizer and cleaning materials if they feel that they've been infected or they need to wipe their desk off or so forth. We're going to ask students not to share supplies, and they'll have plenty of opportunities to wash their hands throughout the day. And at the bottom of the screen, you'll notice there's a link to the CDC coming back to school and child care requirements or guidelines that they have put forth. Our health and safety plan we'll reference throughout this presentation. We want to make sure everyone understands that we will be doing the in-person model and that we will be socially distancing. We will be doing everything we can within the school environment to keep students and staff as safe as possible. Our distance will be no less than 4 feet from each other, from center to center. We have already removed unnecessary furniture, area rugs, carpets, anything that was a surface that was not being used. Tables were taken out of classrooms and desks were put in. I would also say our schools have already gone to the extent we have put floor markers down so that students can be 6 foot apart while in the hallway or transitioning. Our hallways are also equipped with directional arrows, so students are only moving in one direction through the hallways. Also, during this time, non-essential visitors will not be permitted in the buildings.
Our in-person operational model, the parents and guardians, there's a need to self-monitor your students for symptoms. Students with these symptoms may have COVID-19. Some examples are fever or chills, cough, fatigue, headache, sore throat, and others on this list. If your child is showing one or more of these symptoms, please keep them at home. There is also a site at the bottom of this page for additional information. Our health and safety plan. Monitoring student and staff health is part of any in-person model. At home, monitoring students and staff for symptoms. The parents and guardians must only send their students to school if they, 1, are healthy with no fever or symptoms, 2, have not been exposed to COVID-19. Students who are exhibiting any types of signs of illness must stay home. The district has also made revisions to the attendance policy to accommodate any additional absences. Staff must also self-monitor and stay home if feeling ill. At school, staff will undergo COVID-19 system responses and exposure protocol training and have discussions with students. The students and staff with symptoms must report immediately to the health office where they will be isolated. Additional steps will be taken per guidance of the Allegheny County Health Department and CDC. And as a reminder, please do not send your child to school if they are showing signs of any symptoms. When dealing in person with transportation, students must wear a mask or face shield while on a bus. Buses will be supplied with masks, but students should have their own. Buses will load from the rear to the front. Siblings should sit together and 2 students to a seat. Unloading will occur from the front of the bus to the rear. All buses will be sanitized between runs. And just a reminder, parents may opt out of utilizing district transportation. At the current time, the district is waiting for busing information to send out to all the residents. An in-person school day. Students will report 2 days and receive remote learning the other 3. Students will not have access to a locker or cubby in elementary. Students will be dismissed approximately 2 hours early. Your child's school will post their schedule on the website. And unfortunately, during this time, there will be no celebrations, classroom parties, or field trips. The school day remote learning will be different as it was in the past 6 weeks. Teachers will provide remote learning during the last 2 hours of the school day. Students will be able to access teachers during this time. Instruction will be both asynchronous and synchronous. And teachers will be available on Wednesday to all students during the school day.
During our in-person hybrid model, visitors will be restricted at the buildings. Parents will be asked to wait for their children at the security station. If dropping off an item, we will ask that you leave it with security with a name and a room number. And only visitors will be permitted in the building are those with a scheduled appointment, either with the principal or with a teacher-parent conference. And a reminder that these procedures are in place to secure the health and safety of everyone in the building at this time. Our lunch program during our in-person learning hybrid model. At the elementary, we'll be providing a school lunch while in the building. Secondary students will be provided a grab-and-go lunch as they are dismissed from the building. Breakfast will be served as grab-and-go every morning to all students. Lunches will still be available to students learning remotely. Lunches will need to be picked up at the schools, and there will not be any off-campus satellite distribution areas during the hybrid model. The lunch program, the breakfast and lunch will be provided at no charge to all students enrolled at WMASD. We will distribute them daily. Our locations will be the 2 elementaries, Clara Barton and Homeville, and the secondary students will all get theirs at the middle school in the rear of the building, which will be a change from how they are picked up now. The times will still stay from 11:30 to 12:30, and you can also pre-order as well from the district website.
In the operational model of in-person, focusing on cleaning and sanitizing. Rooms, common areas, and restrooms will be sanitized nightly. All door handles, restrooms, and commonly touched items will be disinfected throughout the day. Hand sanitizing stations are located in all the common areas, and classrooms will have disinfectant available in the classrooms themselves. With health and good hygiene, the school district will be cleaning and disinfecting on a daily basis. Ventilation units will have their filters changed quarterly. The univents will be on to circulate air through the classroom during the school day. During the school day, the custodial crew will clean and disinfect restrooms, door handles, and cafeteria serving area on a routine basis. Teachers will also be supplied with disinfectant for students' desks to be cleaned throughout the day. All custodians will be trained on proper procedures to clean and disinfect all school property. Parents and teachers will be provided with how the district is cleaning and the products that are being used. Face masks when operating any in-person model. The first one is face masks will be required for all students and staff members at all times. Face masks will be required for all students when on district transportation. Per the Pennsylvania Department of Health guidance, students will only be permitted to remove their masks when eating or drinking or during physical activity, for example, PE or recess, and have a 6 feet distance that can be maintained between others, and the student is given permission from their teacher. It's important to note that any student not following these guidelines will be subject to the disciplinary process. If a continual issue persists and after parent contact, a student may be required to return to remote learning.
To continue with our health and safety plan, what happens if there's a positive COVID-19 case in one of our schools? In the school, students and staff members immediately quarantine to the health office. The school district will then notify the Allegheny County Department of Health to follow their guidance regarding school closure, who must be quarantined and for how long, and where the instructional operation model must change. All families and staff will be notified through normal communication means, including email, text, district website, apps, and social media. What happens if there's a positive COVID-19 case at home? If the COVID-19 case is a student or staff member or someone in the student or staff member's household, the superintendent's office should be contacted and action will be taken as necessary based on the guidance from the Allegheny County Health Department. All families and staff will be notified through normal communication means from the district. At the bottom, you can see there's the AIU COVID-19 decision tree. That is the link straight to our website with the document that we are utilizing to make these decisions as to what course of action we must take when we get a report of a positive case. If any parents, or students, community members have any questions or comments, we've set up an email address for you to send your questions to, and they will go straight to a person in central administration that we can get those handed out to the proper persons who can answer your questions. And that is COVID-19 questions at WMASD.org. The district is looking forward to the students' return and are taking all the precautionary measures possible to ensure your child's safety and well-being. It is the goal to transition from the hybrid model to full in-person sessions. Please be reminded that if an outbreak occurs, that the district's first course of action will be to move students to remote learning. Thank you for your cooperation and patience during these times. It is the district's sincere hope that students will stay healthy, follow social distancing, and wear their masks to create a safe environment for all. As we embark on this for Monday, the 19th, we look forward to having your students come back, and I think our teachers are looking forward. But please understand, this is a fluid system. We're going to do everything in our power to make students feel safe, staff members feel safe, and provide a quality education to our students. So I thank you for your time. I appreciate this opportunity. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to Mr. Solomon as well as myself to get your answers. But we look forward to seeing your kids back on Monday. Thank you and have a good evening.